Europeans didn't conquer anyone because they were stronger, smarter, or superior in any way. They were walking sacks of disease that coughed their way to world domination and then rewrote history to make themselves look powerful. White supremacists love to bring up Hernan Cortés defeating the Aztecs like it was some brilliant military strategy. Let's break down what actually happened. Cortés and his 600 men arrived in 1519. The Aztec Empire had a standing army of hundreds of thousands of men. In a fair fight, the Spanish would have been obliterated. The first battles, Cortés lost. The Aztecs kicked his forces out of Tenochtitlan in 1520 during the Noche Triste, or the Sad Night, forcing him to flee like a scared child. Then came smallpox. The disease, brought over by just one infected slave among the Spanish ranks, ripped through the Aztecs, killing about 50% of them in just 1 year. The smallpox didn't just kill warriors, it killed priests, generals, and even the emperor himself. By the time Cortés returned in 1521, Tenochtitlan was a rotting corpse of a city. The Spaniards just walked in and mopped up the remains. And yet, some people act like he was a military genius. The truth is, he was getting absolutely destroyed until a virus stepped in and did the work for him. Same thing happened with the Inca Empire. Francisco Pizarro didn't conquer the Incas. He showed up after smallpox had wiped out millions of them and thrown the empire into a civil war. The Inca Emperor Huayna Capac and his heir both died from smallpox before they had even heard of the Spanish. This led to a civil war between his two sons Atahualpa and Huascar. Pizarro and his 168 men didn't win against the Incas. They took advantage of a civilization already in chaos, kidnapped the emperor, and murdered unarmed people at the Battle of Cajamarca. You want to act like that's military superiority? That's opportunism at best, and genocide at worst. And when disease wasn't fast enough, Europeans weaponized it. The British literally handed out smallpox-infected blankets to natives in 1763. And this wasn't a rumor. British generals wrote about it in their own letters. Nor was it a one-off case. The Europeans knew that their disease was their deadliest weapon, and used it. And let's talk about Africa, since you love pretending that Europeans just walked in and took over. Europeans couldn't even get past the coasts for centuries because African kingdoms were too powerful and the climate was too deadly for them. The Zulu kingdom under Shaka Zulu wiped out British forces using nothing but spears and superior battle tactics. The Ashanti Empire held off British colonization for nearly 100 years. So how did the British finally win? Not through strength, not through strategy. That's right, through the Maxim machine gun. During the Battle of Omdurman in 1898, British soldiers, armed with machine guns, massacred 10,000 Sudanese warriors and lost only 48 men in 1 day. That wasn't war, that was slaughter. The second Europeans had guns that could wipe out entire armies in minutes, they stopped pretending to fight fair and turned Africa into a bloodbath. And now you pathetic little keyboard crusaders sit in 2025 and talk about how the Europeans were strong and superior. If they were so strong, why did they need diseases and industrial weapons to win? If they were so dominant, why did they keep losing wars until they could turn battlefields into mass graveyards with machine guns? Your ancestors weren't conquerors. They were plague rats who got lucky. Cope.